Good morning, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your Labor Day long weekend and you are ready to engage in an exercise snack. And so Sandy has requested some neck and upper back and shoulder ones. And so I'll be doing that. But just be mindful, if I will give different variations. So if you do have a sore back or an injury, just following the ones that are suitable for you. All right, so we'll start with the standing spine roll. I hope that you've got your chair ready because we will use the chair to stretch, but you can always do the stretches on the floor as we've done before if you prefer. All right, standing spine roll. So try by the feet, keep your knees soft, deep breath in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, peel your spine off that imaginary wall. Notice how far down you reach in, crown of the head to the floor. Beeline, breathing out, use the abdominals to support your spine and uncurl to the upright. And again, breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Notice how far down you're reaching. Beeline, use the abdominals from halfway up. Tuck with the pelvis and squeeze the core to the upright. And last one, breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Notice how far you are reaching and use those abdominals to support the spine and curl to the upright. So just with that neck, those neck and shoulders, we do everything forwards. Those pec muscles tend to shorten and tighten and the upper back gets weak. So we end up with this sort of hunched and chin poking posture. So our first thing is we want to loosen up through those pec muscles. So I will do it against the wall, but I'm just going to show you this side because sometimes you can't see properly. So you do want to keep that forearm upright, wrist above the elbow, so as opposed to trying to be there. So keep that forearm upright, so you've got good rotation. Your elbow will be a little bit behind your body. You will twist and you will lean forwards. So it looks like that. There. And looking forwards, tuck with the pelvis and keep your shoulders relaxed, no hunching. Nice deep breaths. Throughout the class, I want you to concentrate on getting your breath to the base of the lungs. Turn the feet towards the wall before easing the arm up and over onto the other side. So feet towards the center, leaning forwards into that stretch and just looking forwards, no pulling round with your neck. And keeping that forearm upright with the wrist above the elbow. So that stretch coming through into the front of your chest. Turn the feet towards the wall, easing that arm off. And now just a nice loosening one, a dynamic stretch. Clasp your hands. So you'll first of all keep the tuck with the pelvis. We're just working in through the upper back. So push your hands away from you and round through that upper back. Still keeping that tuck and open up and pinch your shoulder blades. So there we go. And then arch through that upper back. So push away, round your upper back, and then you can also look up for a more intense stretch. So push away, round, and then arching. So round and arching. Pinch your shoulder blades. Breathing out and deep breath in. Pinch your shoulder blades. Breathing out and breathing in, and one more. And relax out of that. Now we'll do our leg stretches and then we'll do one more shoulder stretch using the chair. So just keep your hips facing square onto that chair. Pop your leg up, keep a soft knee, and with a straight back hinge forwards. So just being careful to keep those hips square onto the chair. Tuck your chin in, neck in line with the rest of the spine. So this is not what you are after. It's a straight back and hinging forwards till you feel it in the hamstring, and as you flex that foot back into your calf as well. So while I'm stretching through that right leg, I'm pressing that right hip backwards away from And changing sides, keeping those hips square on. So now as I hinge forwards, I'm pushing that left hip, that leg I'm stretching, pressing that hip backwards away from me. Keep that foot upright, make sure your foot isn't turning out, and with a straight back, hinging over. Flex your foot strong, tuck your chin in, looking towards that working leg. And easing out of that. And standing, I'll just show you sideways. We want to make sure that you're attacking with the pelvis, lock the pelvis. You're stretching through your thigh. Bring that leg forwards, hold on to your ankle. Tuck with your pelvis so that pelvis is locked, and pull the knee back and behind your torso. Keep working strongly with those abdominals to maintain your pelvic tilt, and pull that knee back and behind till you get a really firm stretch into that thigh. But you should have no discomfort into your lower back, and try to get the heel touching the bottom. Changing sides. So bring that leg up, hold on to the ankle, tuck with the pelvis, lock your pelvis, and pull back and behind. So just isolating into the thigh, and keep standing up as straight as possible. Pull back and behind, try to get to that 9 out of 10 of stretch into that thigh. So triple grunted pain. And easing out of that. While my chair's in the right position, I'm just going to show you that shoulder stretch. Now just be mindful, this just work within your limits. You go as low as you comfortably can. So ideally you have your hands shoulder distance apart. You can take them as wide as your chair if your shoulders are a little bit tighter. Now pinch your shoulder blades, keep your torso upright. Now within your limits of discomfort, you're going to take yourself down. So you don't need to go all the way down to the floor. Pinch your shoulder blades, stick your chest out. So you should feel that stretch coming through to the pec and through those shoulders, and feel that pinching between your shoulder blades. Nice deep breaths, consciously relaxing those stretch muscles. Pinch your shoulder blades a little more. We'll just change legs, not that it's necessary. But so some of you, the stretch might look like that. You don't need to go to the floor, all within your limits of discomfort. Pinch your shoulder blades, stick your chest out, and feel that stretch coming through the front of the chest and down the front of the shoulder and the arm. And easing out of that. Just give those shoulders a little roll. And now you're going to take a seat to do your buttock stretch. To make sure that you're sitting firmly on both buttocks. To make it easier, you can have the foot close to the knee. A little bit more challenging, bring that foot closer to your hip. Now you're trying to allow that knee to flop out without leaning off to the side. Keep your torso upright. Make sure that other foot is resting on the floor and lean forwards within your limits of discomfort, feeling that stretch into that left buttock. Breathe through the stretch. Always consciously relax those stretch muscles. Keep your shoulder blades in pocket, no pulling down with your neck. Now notice how far down you are reaching, because you always compare left and right side when you are stretching. So notice how much that other leg flops out. If you find you're particularly tight and the leg is looking more like that, you can hold onto that foot, make sure that you're sitting firmly, and just give that leg a little push out. Now this is a little snack you can engage on. Engage it throughout the day, small amounts, to loosen up through that hip. Okay, and leaning forwards. So feeling that stretch through to that right buttock, nice deep breaths. And easing out of that. Now we are going to do single leg squats. That's a good functional movement, strengthening the thighs and the buttocks. But if that's not suitable for you, at this point you can do your sit to stand off your chair. So you're wanting your feet to be hip distance apart, knees are also hip distance apart. You will lean forwards, get your weight over those feet, squeeze the buttocks, and bring yourself up. I'll just show you that sideways. That's if you've chosen to use the chair, you're easier. So your back should be straight, not like that. So watch out for that arch in the back. Get the pelvis in the right position. Lean forward, squeeze the buttocks, stand up. When you sit down, same thing. A straight, flat back. So I'm not talking about straight like that. I'm talking about flat back. Not that, the opposite of that. And sit yourself gently down. Squeeze the buttocks and stand up. So get your weight over those legs coming up. And watch out for that little inwards roll that we like to do. Keep those knees aligned. All right, so if you're not using the chair, your more challenging one, you can hold on to hand weights and single leg squats. So full weight on your right leg and keep those knees aligned. Once again, don't let them roll in and knee stays behind the line of the toe. Same thing with the back. Take yourself down, squeeze the buttocks to bring yourself up. Chest to the thigh, squeezing the buttocks. Breathing out to lower, deep breath in to lift up. You can just take it smaller if you're finding pain into the knees. Breathe out to lower, squeeze the buttocks. Otherwise, you're aiming for that full range of movement. Drop those buttocks down low. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Push through that front heel, squeeze the buttocks to straighten yourself up. No pushing off the floor, I saw that. Breathing out to lower, deep breath in to push up. Squeezing the buttocks as you push up. One more on the side, changing legs. Now keep your full weight on that left leg, up on the ball of the foot. Your feet should be hip distance apart. Just face forwards, knees are aligned, chest to the thigh, squeeze the buttocks. As you straighten up, deep breaths. Breathe in to raise, breathe out to lower. Squeeze the buttocks, push up through that front heel, and keep those knees aligned. When you start to tire, don't allow those knees to flop inwards. Full weight on that front leg. And one more. Well done. All right, just to mix it up a little bit, we're going to do hand weights now. We're going to work into that upper back to counterbalance that. So we stretch out through there. Now we want to work through there to keep those shoulders in the correct position. It's still thirsty work, even though it's cooled down. Way more fun if you challenge your balance. So stand on one leg or firmly planted on both. So lift that leg up, keep your hips level. First of all, make sure that your arms are in this position. Try to not have that. That's your ideal position. But once again, everything's within limits. But know what you are aiming for. Press up to the ceiling and pull down. Nice deep breaths. Get that breath to the base of the lungs. So Pilates is not an aerobic exercise, but if you do that nice deep breathing, it does help to increase your lung capacity. And you made the effort of coming down to your mat, so you might as well get the most out of it. Strengthen as well as increasing lung capacity. One more. And now change legs. We're going to take the arms down to shoulder level. So we're going to bring them in and a gentle pinch. Take the arms back behind your torso. So concentrate on that upper back, working between your shoulder blades. Squeeze your core for your balance and pinch through the buttocks. Breathing out to open, into close. As you pinch those shoulder blades, being careful not to jut out with the chin. Keep your chin gently tucked in. You're wanting to have the head balancing on top of the neck. No chin poking. And stop. Change legs. Turn those palms up. You're going to raise the arms up, and then so one up and one forwards. One up and one forwards. Squeeze your core for your balance. Keep your elbows as straight as possible. Keep your head nice and still. Head balancing on top of the neck. And stop. Change legs. Bring the arms down. Now check you're in this position and not that. We're going to work the rotator cuff. Elbow, shoulder, and wrist all at the same height. Watch out for hunching. No hunching. Pinch your shoulder blades. Try to get your wrist above your elbow. Take it back down and tuck in. So try and get that perfect positioning. Keep your shoulder blades gently pinched to keep nice and open through your chest. And no hunching with your shoulders at any time. Once again, head balancing on top of the neck. No chin poking. Wrist above the elbow. Try and get that full rotation as you come. And now we'll just actually hold it here, change sides, and you're just going to concentrate on that rotation. Don't give up, don't give up. Keep on, you can always drop your weights. Keep those shoulder blades gently pinched. Now straighten the arms, change legs. Guess what? Small circles. Take those arms back behind your torso. Pinch between your shoulder blades. Work into the upper back. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straighten, hold, and relax. You can pop those weights down and just give your shoulders a little roll out. Keep that chair handy, don't put it too far away. We're going to do the hover. Now you can do your normal hover, so I'll just show you different variations here. So you can be just onto the knees. Otherwise, you can tuck the toes and lift that up. Otherwise, we can use the chair. Just going to bring this in a little closer. But the main thing with the hover, you are isolating to those abdominals. So we're not wanting that. We're wanting the drawing in and the tucking under so that you feel the tummy and not your back. When you go into that, that's when you feel the back. If you continue on, then you will end up with a sore back. So make sure that you follow those and ease out of it if you need to. All right, because we're doing a more challenging hover, we're going to drop back to 2 1-minute hovers. I think a few people are cheering at those 2 1-minute hovers. So I have shown you how to do it on the chair. And I will do it on the chair, but feel free to do those easier ones. So if you're on the chair, spread your fingers wide, wrist in underneath the elbow. I'm getting ready. Timing now, 1 minute. So tuck under with the tailbone. Now you can have your feet up like that, or you can have the feet flat down like that. And if you would like to work a little harder, shake a leg. Breathe out to lift, breathe in to lower. But whatever you're doing, not tucking under with that tailbone. No hunching with your shoulders. Make sure that you are keeping soft elbows. If you are lifting a leg, squeeze those buttocks and keep your pelvis square down towards the floor. Now concentrate on the pelvic floor. On your breath out, squeeze the core, as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. Neck in line with the rest of the spine and soft elbows. Nice straight line with the body. That's your minute. Have a little rest. Pretty harsh on those wrists. So give those wrists a break. Okay. Now, if your wrists have taken too much strain, you can just go back onto the floor for your second one, or you can go back onto your chair. Lift it and hold it, tucking under with the tailbone. Breathe in for a count of 4. Slow breath out for a count of 6. Breathing all the air out, squeezing the core as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. Make sure that you are maintaining that pelvic tilt. Otherwise, go back to the knees. Make sure that you're tucking under. Make sure you're not up there. Keep tucking under with the tailbone. No hunching with your shoulders. Squeeze your core, that corset around your center. Release it gently and come back into the rest position. Feet together, knees wide, and sink your chest down low, flat on your spine. All right, we've got a side hover today as well. And we can use the chair for the side hover. Once again, it does work your wrists strongly, so just make sure that your wrist is feeling okay for this. Now, if you have got a sore shoulder and would prefer to still do your front hover but on the knees, that is fine. So you do have all those different options. And otherwise, your easier side hover with your knees bent back behind you, body in a straight line, lifting up. You can always keep a bit of pressure through there. Otherwise, feet are straight, lifting up. Or otherwise, even more fun, feet up on here. Once again, it's more challenging, so we'll just do 30 seconds. So, wrist in underneath the shoulder, just careful as you come up onto that chair. Just strategically place my watch, lift it up, and hold it there. Push your hips up to the ceiling. Make sure that supporting elbow is soft and your shoulders are not hunching. Neck is in line with the rest of the spine and a nice straight line with your torso. Nice deep breaths. Maintain a tuck with the pelvis and squeeze your core. Getting ready, release yourself gently, and I'll just put the chair on the other side. Okay. Getting ready. So side hover, wrist in underneath your shoulder, lift it, and hold it. Press your hips up to the ceiling. Make sure that your wrist is directly in underneath your shoulder and no hunching with those shoulders. Maintain a pelvic tilt. Keep your chin gently tucked in. Press those hips up so that you feel it working around your waist. Push those hips to the ceiling. Just 5 more seconds. Release it gently and give those wrists a shake. Well done. There we go. So, a lot of fun with the chair around. Before I push that chair away, we're just going to do our bridging with the chair. Once again, you've got the option of the feet on the floor. And then we'll push the chair away for good. So, just your normal bridging is feet fist width apart, tucking with the pelvis, peeling the spine off, pushing the hips up so you have that straight line, tucking with the pelvis, rolling your spine down. Last thing you'll do is release through that pelvic tilt. Right, for more of a challenge, bring yourself in so that your hip is in underneath your knee. Knees are squeezed. You can have your feet together or you can have them slightly apart, but your knees are together. Palms are facing up. Tuck with your pelvis. Squeeze the buttocks. Press your hips up high. Try to get that straight line from your shoulder to your knee. Squeeze your knees, tucking, 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 getting as much movement through the vertebra as possible. So if you're backwards, or just keep your feet on the floor. The benefit of having the feet up, your hamstrings work much harder and the buttocks work much harder. And you're able to loosen higher up into your back. You can place your feet on the wall as well. So tuck with the pelvis, engaging tummy and pelvic floor. When you lift up, squeeze the buttocks. Now tuck your chin in, keep your head still and push your hips up high. Tucking with the pelvis, roll your spine down. Get as much movement through the vertebra as you can. Last thing you'll do is release through the tuck of the pelvis. Breathing out to peel your spine off the floor. Deep breath in to press your hips up high. Breathing out as you roll yourself down. So breathing out to peel your spine up off the floor. Deep breath in to push your hips up high. Squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from the inner thighs. And roll yourself down on your breath out. Keep your shoulders nice and open. Tuck your chin and protect your neck. Keep your head straight, not turning. Push your hips up. Deep breath in as you squeeze the buttocks. Breathing out. Squeeze those inner thighs. Keep that tuck of the pelvis. It'll be the very last thing that you release. So breathing out to peel the spine off. Deep breath in. Push those hips up. Breathing out. Roll your spine down. Keep that tuck of the pelvis so those tummy muscles have to work. And roll it down. Breathing out to peel off. Deep breath in to push your hips up high. Get that extra centimeter higher and roll your spine down. You're nearly there. Have you feeling those hamstrings lined up? So squeezing the buttocks, pushing your hips up high. Breathing out to roll down. One more and we're just going to pulse it while we are up there. So peeling the spine off. So last breath out as you push those hips up. Tuck your chin in, squeeze those inner thighs. Last breath out, pushing those hips up to the ceiling. Squeeze your core. Roll your spine down and hug your knees into the chest. Rock your knees in. You may need a hamstring stretch. So just stretch that leg straight or keep it bent and interlink your fingers. Stretch out through those hamstrings. You do feel them working strongly. And changing sides. So pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, bend the elbows, knee to shoulder, flex your foot, and easing out of that. All right. Move the chair out the way. We'll do a few more abdominal ones. So we'll do side to side. We're going for a sore lower back. So feet together, knees together, arms around shoulder level. Push through with your hips. If your back is sore, you may find you only go a small amount and you gradually loosen up and take it lower. Also nice for opening up through your chest. So press your shoulder blades into the floor. Don't let your shoulder hit the floor. Turn to look to the fingers of the opposite hand. Pushing through with those hips. Breathing out to lower. And a deep breath in as you lift. Pushing through with your hips. And back up again. And now knees in line with your belly button. Feet a little higher than the knees. Halfway to make it easier. Or as low as you can, where that opposite shoulder is still flat. Squeezing point inner thighs to lift. Press that shoulder and arm into the floor. If it's lifting up, don't take the legs quite so low. Concentrate on your breathing now. So it also is giving you the speed at which to be moving. So you will breathe out as you lower your legs and a deep breath in as you lift your legs. Keep your knees glued together. Think of 3 things as you lift. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the core and pelvic floor as you raise. Breathing out as you lower and a deep breath in as you lift. Keep those knees locked together. And one more. Back up to the center, relax your feet to the floor. Now your easiest stretch, keep your knees vertically stacked, get those knees nice and close into your armpit, taking the knees to the right hand side and a gentle pull down with your hand, keeping that left shoulder blade pressed into the floor. A firmer stretch, just make sure it's a firm stretch on your lower back, make sure your lower back's feeling fine with it. Right leg out straight, left leg up and over, and get that knee close into your armpit, and just allow that leg to flop over within your limits of discomfort. You'll get that firm stretch into your left hip. Breathe through the stretch, don't force it. Make sure that you be lining so that your back is supported throughout. Now squeeze your core and carefully and slowly back up to the other side. Make sure body's in a nice straight line, left leg out straight, right leg up and over. Keep that right shoulder nice and flat and allow that knee to flop over within your limits of discomfort. Squeeze your core, use the abdominals carefully and slowly back up again and rock your knees into the chest. Just give them a good squeeze in and circle with the knees. Reverse your circle. Alright, and we're going to do rollbacks. So just one more abdominal one. I will give you an option of rollbacks or the teaser. So talking you through a few rollbacks first. Now, if rollbacks are hurting your back or not agreeing with you, you can drop back and do perfect abdominal curl. Jan, you can do perfect abdominal curl, or you can at least try and get a few of those rollbacks in. So keep the same angle at the knees, so don't allow them to straighten at all. Halfway back, get that tucking, rocking back on the pelvis, squeeze ribs to hips to come up. So otherwise you can take it down as low as you can. You can still bring yourself back up again. And Deb, to protect that neck, tuck your chin and look down towards the abdominals. Make sure you're not pulling from your neck or shoulders. When you come up, squeeze ribs to hips, no neck or shoulders. Keep those shoulders drawn into pocket. Holding hand weights will make it a little easier. Using your band will make it easier. Otherwise, your teaser, flex the foot you are resting on, and the other leg, the foot is flexed and your knees are level. And we will do 5 each leg. So blast breath out, peel your spine off the floor, reach for your toes, sink into the hips, tuck with the pelvis, roll it down, squeeze ribs to hips to come up, reach for your toes, keep those knees level, tucking, 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 squeezing ribs to hips, reach for the toes, curve into your back, roll it down, last breath out and peel, reach for your toes, sink into the hips, roll it down, squeezing ribs to hips, reach for your toes, roll it down, change legs, otherwise you will still be carrying on with your rollbacks. So flex the foot you're resting on, squeezing ribs to hips, reach for your toes, keep that knee straight, keep those knees level and roll it down. Last breath out, peel, reach for your toes, curve into your back, roll it down, slowly. Squeezing ribs to hips, reach for your toes, curve into your back, roll it down. Last breath out, reaching for your toes, sink into your hips. Last breath out, reach, roll it down. You're coming up. And now you can hold on to leaning back to a 45-degree angle. Now you can either just get those legs parallel and hold that. Otherwise, get those legs up straight and hold it there. Squeeze those inner thighs, squeeze your core and hold it. Hold it. Keep squeezing those inner thighs, straighten the legs as much as you can. Otherwise, you can have those bent knees. Hold it. Pull those abdominals in. Are we having fun yet? Enjoying the snack? And relax out of that. Well done. You wanting your stretch out. Take it down. Just lengthen into your lower back, arms up and overhead. Tuck your chin in and get your whole body as flat onto the floor as possible. Stretch your arms out straight, press the back of the arms to the floor, tuck the chin in, upper back to the floor, pelvic tilt to press that lower back down, press the back of the legs to the floor. And easing out of that. And we just have that strengthening left. All right, you can hold on to your hand weights. So with the first one, we're concentrating on the upper back once more, the triceps and the lower back. You can hold hand weights for more of a challenge. So the legs are mat distance or shoulder distance apart. In other words, the legs are wide. Palms are facing inwards. And don't lead with the head, just head comes along for the ride. Lift your arms higher than the torso, pinch your shoulder blades, and release it down. Breathing in to lift, breathing out to lower. If your back is sore, you may find you only go up a small, so work within your limits. Concentrate on the muscles that you are working. So as you lift up, lift those arms higher than your torso so that you feel the back of the arms, the triceps. You feel your upper back as you pinch those shoulder blades and your lower back as you try to lift up as high up comfortably. Breathing in to lift, breathing out to lower. Deep breath in to lift, breathing out to lower. Gentle pinch of those shoulder blades. One more. And release it down. Now you've got the option of having your forehead resting on the hands. You can have your towel, if your back is sore, you can have a towel in underneath your stomach to better support your back. And you've got the option of just moving the legs or moving arms and legs. So forehead resting on the hands, squeeze the biceps and try and get both thighs equally off the floor. If that is too much, you can alternate. Just a small lift, squeeze the biceps to lift. Otherwise, we'll lift the arms and legs equally up off the floor. So squeeze the biceps, squeeze your core. Straighten your elbows and straighten your knees. No hunching with those shoulders. Still drawing shoulder blades into pocket. Draw those tummy muscles away from the floor. So whichever one is suitable for you, alternating legs, or both legs, or arms and legs. If you're doing arms and legs, try and get that equal lift of the arms and the legs. One more. Release it gently. Now swimming. One arm, one slow swimming first. One arm, one leg on opposite sides of the body. Try not to let yourself rock from side to side. So think about keeping that pelvis stable. So you can just keep one arm, one leg resting on the floor. Your arms and legs lifted. And then your one arm, one leg. Do it in time with your breathing. Then that breathing is also giving you the speed at which to be moving. Breathing out to raise and breathing in to lower. Try and get that equal lift of the arm and the leg. Keep your elbows as straight as possible and your knees nice and straight. Have a short rest. Another set of that Shasana. Now, Diane, don't give up now. So arms and legs are lifted. One arm, one leg, opposite sides, nice and slow. Breathing out to lift and breathing in to lower. Release it gently. All right, and back extensions. So hands are next to your shoulders, onto your forearms, onto your hands. Keep your hips resting on the floor, back onto the elbows and down. Now if your back is sore and you can't go up quite so high, you can take the hands forwards and you get a smaller bend into the back. So work within your limits, gradually nudge yourself up. Be careful to keep those feet out wide. So looking forward, shoulders away from the ears, back onto the elbows and down. Deep breath in to press yourself up and breathing out to release. Deep breath in to push up, shoulders away from the ears, breathing out to release. Squeeze your core, draw those tummy muscles away from the floor. Now push up, hold it here a moment. Bend your elbows just before the floor. No, don't give up. Keep those elbows tucked in. No hunching with your shoulders and squeeze your core. Keep those elbows tucked in close. So you feel your triceps working. Don't allow your shoulders to hunch. Release it gently and come back into this position. Feet together, knees wide. Actually, you can use the chair here. That will give you a nice stretching through your shoulders as well. You can pop your hands on top of that chair and sink yourself down. So that you're getting that stretch coming through into those shoulders. Let your head dangle and straighten your elbows. And make sure that you are leaning equally on both sides, because often you have a tighter shoulder when you're leaning more towards the other side. So just look for symmetry there. And drop the head down and feel that stretching through your shoulders. And easing out of that. Okay, now a nice stretch for your upper back. Sitting cross-legged, hand on your knee and twist your shoulders square onto the side wall. Nice deep breath, just relaxing a little further into that twist on the breathboard. And to the other side, hand on your knee, twist your shoulders square onto the side wall, relax your shoulders, relax through that upper back. You'll feel it between your shoulder blades. And easing out of that, we'll just do a little extra buttock stretch. Separate your feet out. Now, if this one's not for you and it's hurting your knees, then don't do it. You can lie on your back and do a buttock stretch. Otherwise, so I've got my left foot closest into me. I'm allowing that left knee to flop down, and as I lean forward, stretching through that left buttock. So within your limits of discomfort, leaning into it. I'm also trying to get that right knee to the floor, but it's the left knee the left buttock that I'm stretching. Squeeze your core to come up. Now swap legs over, so my right one is in closer. So now I'll be stretching that right buttock and lean forwards, allowing those knees to flop down, leaning into it, stretching through those buttocks. Squeeze your core to come up and just having a stretch through your neck. So shoulder blades are in pocket. You're looking over your shoulder. Now you're being careful to keep your head straight. So I'll just show you sideways, wanting your head to be straight. Don't think you're going far, but all you're doing is that. You can check yourself in the mirror. So nice straight head as you turn to the side. Same thing to the other side, looking over your shoulder. Do your neck stretches with your shoulder blades in pocket. Now look right up to the ceiling. Take the chin right back. If you're finding it hard, you can always support. Press your fingers into the neck and support your head as you drop that head right back. Now chin to chest, interlace your fingers. Get the elbows sag down. It's more the weight of the arms than pulling down, and stretch through the back of the neck. Gently, slowly release. Press your hand into the floor. Let the head drop over, ear to shoulder, and a gentle pull. Pressing down through the heel of that opposite hand. Gently, slowly release to the other side, ear to shoulder, looking directly forwards. Keeping that shoulder nicely down. Easing out of that, clasp the hands, lift those arms up as high up as you can, and release. Punch the shoulders up, and relax them. Punch them right up, and relax now. Large circles backwards. Walk tall, and enjoy your long weekend. Well done. See you on Wednesday.